breaking the wall to understand and safeguard our blue planet. Boris, Ocean School, Canada.
Hello everyone. I'd like to start with a love story. It's the story of a child who fell in love so hard they dedicated their whole life to the loved one. You probably guessed it, that child is me. My first word that I learned to speak was water. This is my business suite. And my love is the ocean. But I also think that child might be many of you. Who in the audience loves the ocean? That's many of you. Who in the audience has interacted with the ocean in the past year? That's also a good amount. Last month. Today. Most people think you have to dress like this and go for a swim to interact with the ocean. But the truth is, we're all interacting with the ocean right now, every moment of our lives. How's that, you might ask? Well, let's start with breathing. We wake up in the morning, we take a deep breath. Maybe we want to do it right now. The atmosphere is oxygenated because of ocean plankton that evolved several billion years ago, starting to boost the oxygen we breathe today. And still every year, ocean plankton produces about half of the oxygen on the planet. After going about a day, we might walk to work. Maybe it rains. If it does, contemplate the fact that all that water, we heard a lot about water today, that falls on the land and nourishes life on land, makes it possible, because without water, there's no life, comes from the ocean, evaporated over the ocean. Or maybe it's a pleasant day, just the right temperature, like today maybe. And you go, thank you, ocean, because the ocean cools the planet. It actually takes up more than 90% of the excess heat trapped by greenhouse gases, so it doesn't warm our atmosphere. You might stop for lunch, you have some sushi, which is fashionable. Seafood's good for you. You're in good company. About half of the world population significantly depends on ocean protein and nutrients for their sustenance. The problem is, in order to feed the world population, we've taken too much life out of the ocean. And in producing packaging like this, we've also thrown too much bad stuff, lifeless stuff, back into the ocean. That carelessness makes me really sad, and maybe you too. And every time we shed a tear, we're again reminded of the fact that the ocean also lives within us. 60% of my body mass and yours is salt water. And all our bodily fluids have the exact same mineral composition as seawater. Why? Because the ocean, evolutionarily speaking, is our home. It's where life evolved, where we come from. We haven't taken particularly good care of that home, I think largely because we're not aware of that connectivity. The good news is there's a lot of solutions out there that people are working on right now to save the ocean and bring things back. In order to scale that globally and sustain it over time, we need to empower people with knowledge, and that knowledge is called ocean literacy. In order to enhance ocean literacy, particularly for kids, you can't sustain anything without having kids on board. We created something called Ocean School that turns the whole ocean into a giant classroom. This is a collaboration between filmmakers, scientists at Dalhousie University, and content creators at the National Film Board of Canada, a creative partnership that leverages a lot of fun and creativity to bring the ocean into classrooms worldwide. Teachers really like it because it's curriculum-linked and explores key concepts such as habitats or climate change or indigenous ways of knowing. Students really like it because it's so immersive, it's experiential, they can ask their own questions, and they can be in the explorer seat and co-create knowledge together. We've hosted over 750,000 learning sessions to date, and that's rapidly rising, particularly during the pandemic as well. We've hosted expeditions to 4 of the 5 world oceans. And we've created over 150 learning objects, which are these activities and media that help students to make learning real, for example, by looking at the microplastic pollution in their food. And we're empowering young people to make real change in their communities, for example, by going on beach cleanups and making things right. So if I can leave you with one final message, the ocean is within us, we're within the ocean, we're all connected through the ocean with each other, and I need every one of you to help make that change and grow that awareness in your family, your communities, and your countries, and partner with us to make this real and to safeguard and understand that precious, blue, beautiful blue planet that is our home. Thank you very much.
So there is a lot of discussion, of course, about like giving personhood to oceans and to really act as humans, as legal representative of big bodies such as indeed oceans. And I'm just wondering whether your initiative is trying to also communicate the complexity of representing, for example, in a tribunal, something complex like an ocean.
Yeah, well, for me, that concept is very intuitive because I'm literally in love with the thing, right? So, yes, I do support, and I think it's part of our circle of compassion that's growing out from our immediate needs to other creatures, to the whole planet. And I see that change, and it's, in some cases, enshrined in law. But I think where we're missing is that oftentimes I see, even in Nova Scotia, where I work at Dalhousie University, a lot of students come in and they know very little. They know very little about how they are connected to the ocean, how their life touches the ocean, how the ocean touches their life, even if they live far inland. So I think we need to bring up that knowledge base a little bit in order for people to recognize, say, something like personhood in an ocean. Thank you.
I was more curious about how you develop these lessons and the educational program. Could you expand a bit about that?
Yes, thank you for that question. So we work with the National Film Board of Canada, who's created content for schools for 70 years, mostly short films. And we wanted to bring that a little bit out of the box and make it more immersive. And because the ocean is so amazing when you're in it. And the idea of Ocean School is that you're not learning about the ocean, you're learning from within the ocean. So we were one of the first to use virtual reality and augmented reality, for example, or giant floor maps that you can explore, things that you can touch and feel and experience while learning about the ocean. So, and the lesson plans are created, of course, in collaboration with teachers and education professionals and school boards. So because we've learned teachers won't do anything unless it checks their boxes, and it does. So they can create what they can teach what they teach anyways through an ocean's lens, and that's exciting for them, but also for the students while ticking all the boxes of what they have to do. For impact, of course, because we're an online digital platform, we can measure impact relatively well. We have these feedback questionnaires built in. We have evaluation tools built in. But we're about to embark at Dalhousie with Laval in Canada in a multi-year study following students through their lives and really seeing how ocean literacy affects their choices and their behavior and their attitudes and how they inspire others, which we're already seeing, but we haven't documented that well. So much for impact.